Well, it's Arson. Make sure you subscribe to my page, Arson. Hey, how y'all feeling out there? My titles is pretty much uh, I just wanted to expound on that strong statement, and so when I talk about throw the entire school system away, what I'm saying is that this curriculum, this conflict resolution that you know, these teachers, so-called, teachers, uh, so-called teachers have learned in their form of education, in their structured form of education, and uh, and what they do, they go to, these young kids, and I'm just trying to figure out, like, if you go to a university in the old, I'm not saying that it's an old white professor that's teaching these teachers how to, teach these young kids or, you know, do anything, but you know, then they sign up to be seventh, eighth grade teachers, sixth, fifth grade teachers, and it's just not, you know, and the curriculum's not there. The love and the passion is not there. It's a lot of tearing down instead of building up. It's a lot of enticement, and it's a lot of structured, like a structured consequence for each situation. And so you really can't dare to be different, And the reason why I'm speaking is because it's a personal experience I'm going through with my son and my niece and my nephew. And so, they're honor roll students. The academics is there. It's just no, they're a little bit different though. My son likes to move around a lot. He's very active, and he's in the sixth grade. And so, what I experienced yesterday is that the teacher was enticing him a lot. She made a phone call to his mom, and Jaquil, my son, he was crying, and so and my wife, she was trying to figure out what was going on, and so the teacher was like, "Tell him what's going on." And she kept on talking in the background, and actually, he was like, "I'm trying to tell her you won't stop talking," and then all of a sudden the phone hung up, and so me and my wife were working, and so basically the situation kind of got out of hand. My son knew where he was wrong because he ended up yelling at the teacher. He was like, "Get out of my face," because she was enticing him. But he realized where he was wrong. He shouldn't have spoke to her like that. But in a sense, he knew where he was right because she was provoking dude. And so and I had some trouble with the same school. And it's just like the same school doesn't even have a science class, for the curriculum. They said science is embedded in the technology. And so what I kind of like figured out, I'm like, technology and science, they kind of go hand in hand, but they don't. I think technology is trying to trump science because science deals with the elements, and what I learned in biology was about botany and plants and stuff like that. The human anatomy, the periodic table, things are learning these things in the school, and it's just I saw the principal at the barbershop, and I'm like, and outside of what man, like, why they don't teach science? He was like, they do. They get it in like seventh grade. I'm like, they get science in seventh grade, and so they don't even know what's going on inside of them. They don't even know about their organs or anything like that. They can't point out to, you know, uh, the what your functionality. You know what I'm saying? Like what you're made out of. They don't know the periodic table. My niece, now I asked my niece, she's in seventh grade. I'm like, about the periodic table? She was like, no. It's just like, and it's partially my fault with, you know, with the trust of the curriculum also. You know what I'm saying? I also teach my kids a lot. You know what I'm saying? I talk to them a lot, and so what I try to get an understanding of is what are they doing. You know what I'm saying? What is the school doing to kind of send them off on their way, because they're getting crap curriculum, and then you send these kids off with a curriculum that they're 85% of the information they're not going to use when they're, you know, when they're out of school, you know. And then they got to trust to get into a university or a four-year college and have the monies, and, you know, and it's just made for debt. And it's just like these kids, I mean, 6 years old, you know, they can comprehend, they can read. As far as discipline, that's got to be taught, but at the same time, you know, it's got to be a creative way. There's got to be another way that this can be addressed, man. And so, uh, basically, I was pissed off yesterday, man. I'm kind of calmed down now, but the principal, you know, told my son also that, yeah, I know you don't like me, so, you know, it don't matter if you get suspended. I'm gonna suspend you anyway. And you know, he just says little slick comments to my son, you know, and I'm like, why would he tell you that? That's something that I know he doesn't like me, you know, because I went up there because he tried to get my son bathroom duty for my son. And so I stopped what I was doing and I went up there. I said, he's not finna do anything. He's not finna get any consequences. So he wasn't wrong. He was trying to make a joke, you know, trying to make his peers laugh. You know, it wasn't disrespectful. You found it disrespectful because you don't understand different. Different don't always mean wrong. And so when when these solid one-minded curriculums that's in these schools, and you're dealing with these new millennial kids, and you bring this structured format into learning, and it doesn't work for them. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a prime example. My daughter, she's 9 years old. She'll be 10 in September, but she was going through so much trouble last year because of her learning style, because she don't like to sit down in one place, and she's articulate, she gets straight A's and everything. And so this teacher, she's not even at the school anymore, and she just always picked on her. And so, like, when somebody picks on my child, they combat, they get heated, they're going to give you a hard time. So what basically what I'm trying to say, this year in our new teachers class, you know, she came from another school. It's a brand new teacher, and her teaching style is that they got one big mat, and and these are 9, 10-year-old, like, they're big kids, but they can still lay out on the mat. They can choose if they want to stop at their desk, but they have to, you know, she's finding creative ways where they can be comfortable, show their creativity, and not just to sit down in this square desk and look up at the teacher like somebody's above you. She sits on the mat with them, you know, like they're in kindergarten, but my daughter's not in kindergarten. So she's bringing a creative format, and like my daughter was doing well last year, she's excelling this year, but she's doing like a more free, there's a more free style of learning. It's just like, if these teachers are being taught to come, especially in these inner city neighborhoods, man. So it's it's uh it's going to be a broad approach. Like, you know, I think every classroom should be creative. It has nothing to do with you running an out of control, you know, environment. What they're That's what they're afraid of, and giving these kids, you know, the creativity to be themselves, but also now give them the curriculum so they can do what they need to do. You know, it's just like, now give it to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, these kids are individuals at the end of the day. These kids are individuals at the end of the day. And so we got to cater to their individuality. We just can't take all these different minded kids and stack them in one square building, sitting at a square desk, and teach this one solid curriculum, math, social studies, all this, you know what I'm saying, the regular shit. They're not going to be able to psychologically use, and be masters that when they're all school does is teach you the get up and go, the grind. That's one thing that I do honor about school. Like, you get up and you go and you grind. And so you get up early, you go and you go learn something. And so it teaches that aspect of the get up and go. But one thing that I can't, I can't get with is the continuation of it. The continuation of it is just beyond me. These kids are different, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to structure my kids inside of a box either, because I wouldn't want anybody to do that to me. I have no problem with learning. I have no problem with following rules, but you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be myself all day, and that's one thing that they don't realize. They don't realize this about these kids, man. They're gonna be themselves all day, and then you stick them into the square building, and then they're gonna end up being themselves, you know. Some of the day they gonna, you got some kids that's, what I'm saying, that's kind of, that's good workers, that, is gonna sit there and do what you know what I'm saying, what you tell them to do, and follow the teacher's rules, and, be the teacher's pet, and, you know what I'm saying, and just make their job so easy. That's what they want, though. Anyway, they want their jobs to be easy. They just want the kids to make their job easy so they can wake up in the morning, brush their teeth, go to work, teach this crappy ass curriculum, and then, but they want it easy though. You know what I'm saying? Because they made a decision with their lives that they wasn't cool with. They didn't know what they signed up for. Now the repetition is getting to them. Now there's different kids coming into play. These teachers that's been in the 15 years. You know what I'm saying? Now you're seeing the difference in the children, and you don't know how to handle it, because you're teaching the same thing. You're taking the old way of thinking and the old structure into these new children. You know what I'm saying? It's not, and it's not what's up. It's not what's up. It's not working. You know. And so I'm going up to the school on Tuesday. My kids are off today and tomorrow, and I know Monday's Memorial Day. But Tuesday, they gonna hear they finna get this whole dick. I swear. I swear. And I can't hold back any of that shit, man. And it's just like, I'm gonna let them know anything as far as me looking for change, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not change. You know what I'm saying? Like, change. I can only change. I can only control what I'm in charge of, and that's my children. You know what I'm saying? I can only control and teach them how to act and respect at the time, And so, it wasn't a case of my son being very disrespectful yesterday. It was the fact of my son uh, recognizing your bullshit, and recognizing that you suck at conflict resolution. These teachers suck at conflict resolution. How? Okay, I'm an adult, right? So if that kid is talking slick, or he cops an attitude, doesn't give the adult the right to do the same thing the kid just did. But I'm the adult. But you just did what the kid done did. That the kid is supposed to take the attitude. All you can do is enforce a rule, and if he doesn't want to do the rule, give him the consequence if he doesn't follow. And that'll be a warning at first. You know what I'm saying? Like, and these kids, they're not dumb. They know how to comprehend that shit. It's the fact that these teachers, they don't know how to handle conflict resolution. They don't know how to handle a conflict that's going on in their own minds. The petition is getting to them. You know what I'm saying? The kids are getting much smarter, much brighter. They recognize shit as bullshit, and that the curriculum they're getting fed is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They look at the internet just like you do. You know? And so what I try to enforce, man, and what I try to enforce is just awareness, man. It's just awareness. It's like, throw away the whole entire school system, man. Throw that shit away, man. Yeah, you gotta go to school because, it's forced curriculum. It's a shoved curriculum down your throat. Why you think if your kid miss 3 to 5 days of school, you know what I'm saying, unattended, that they send a letter to your door threatening you for you get a ticket or you go to jail? It's forced. It's a forced curriculum. It is not going to determine who the fuck they're going to be in life. Now, getting up and that grind and that grit, yeah, that's essential. That's something that you teach your kids. Get your motherfucking ass up. But what to go get up for is a whole different story. What to go get up for is a whole different story. And that's just something that we gotta reevaluate, man. That's something that we have to reevaluate, and and it's just not, it ain't even no conscious ass video, man. It's just like throw the whole fucking school system away, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't like all that shit, man. Throw the whole school system away, man. Like they got they like you want your son to go play basketball at a good school. These motherfuckers got so many basketball programs. This motherfucker can go straight to the league if he wanted to with no education. It's just mundane. It's mundane and stupid. And so, I'm just really concerned. I'm just really concerned. Our children's psychological conditioning. When it comes to work and when it comes to following rule and when it comes to what I'm saying, how they handle authority, man. It's just like the teacher and student relationship has to be rebuilt and it has to be revisited because these teachers are talking to these kids however the fuck they want to, and then this is their defense. Well, if they were getting trained, if they were getting trained right at home and all this other stuff, it's just like they are trained right at home, man. You just don't you don't understand children. You know what I'm saying? And most of these teachers, they don't even have kids, so they just up in there to either, teach the kids, chastise the kids, either, fucking suck on one of the kids, or you just don't know what you was getting into. You know what I'm saying? This is a high responsibility, man, and I take that shit very seriously, the teacher and student relationship, man, because it's like, dude, they're like how we're out 40 hours a week. They're 40 hours a week, so most of their influence is going to be there. You know what I'm saying? Most of your kids' insecurities come from school. So, you know, being in a sense of revisiting the teacher and student relationship, it's got to be revisited, man. It's got to be revisited with love, man. That's the first thing, man. That them teachers should be getting to know. The first 2 months of school should be only just to get to know your students. The first 2 months of school should only be you learning about your students. I'm talking about each student in that class. And the thing is, the class got to be customized for them, man. Those kids just feel special, man. They shouldn't have to wear its uniform. And then this forced seating, and it's just like their imagination, their imagination doesn't even get that bland. It's so colorful, and then you bring these dreams and this colorful imagination into this dull ass place. White, navy blue, beige, uh, beige, baby blue, navy blue, baby blue, white. Teacher got a suit on. Fat lady got a pantsuit on. And you got Big Mama over there, teaching. And then you got, and it's just another matrix. It's just introduced to them. And so, what I try to figure out, man, what I try to figure out is what's going on and what's the true issue. What's the true issue here? You know what I'm saying? It's getting forced down their throat. They have no creativity there. And, they have spurts of creativities when they, draw and see their stuff in the hallway, and it makes them feel special because all they doing is making you comfortable. Like they spew a little bit of creativity. Is she addressing that within her classroom, or is she just watching the drama? Talia don't, Shay don't like Brittany, you know what I'm saying? In her mind though, because she think it's just, you know what I'm saying? She think it's just she thinks the ego's cute, and it's normal for girls to have beef one another. Are these teachers addressing it? Do your teach it to your students, and if they do, man, they should be wrote up every time, because it's just like before you sign up for this type of things, there's statements, and then there's tearing down. Statements and tearing down is two different things, man. You know, and being rude, and what I'm saying, being obscene, what I'm saying, getting obscene with the child is two different things. You know what I'm saying? So we got to revisit this teacher and student relationship, man. We have to. We have to. You know what I'm saying? Or else, you know what I'm saying, you got to deal with psychological issues, you know what I'm saying, when these niggas get grown, or when these niggas get in high school, or they carry it to high school, and then they spew off some energy like, I don't like teachers, so, and then that teacher smell, you know what I'm saying, your daughter or son's energy, and then all of a sudden it's a problem, and then it's a spirit that's created. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, nah, man. It's like, no. It's just like checking in right now, man. We're gonna check that shit in right now, man. We're gonna revisit that, because it's just like, I know they're talking back to my children, because I hear them talking back, after school when I pick them up. They're talking to the other kids, and they're not actually, talking to them. You know what I'm saying? They're actually, what I'm saying, like talking slick to them, man. Like, there's jokes, and there's ribs, and then there's, hyping up and stuff like that, bro. And it goes on, but when conflict occurs, when something the teacher doesn't like occurs, their way of handling conflict is so fucked up. It's so fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you're the adult. You have to come with a solution. You know what I'm saying? And I think it starts with the classroom. I think it starts with the structure of the classroom. I think it starts with the curriculum. I think it starts with what I'm saying, like this, the uniforms, the jail setting. You know what I'm saying? It starts with a lot. It starts with a lot. So it's crazy, bro. I can't make up no shit like this, man. You know, my son, he crying. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just, you know what I'm saying? Like, he just ain't finna just cry for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, an adult, you know, an adult has to entice him. You know what I'm saying? Or he hurt himself real bad. You know what I'm saying? So what I try to get an understanding of is like, you point out you point out the wrongs, and you address them, and you just build on your rights. You know what I'm saying? Or what your son is already capable of doing. He's an honor roll student. He went on the honor roll field trip, last Friday. Him and my daughter at the same school. It's just like, how's he an outcast and you put him on an honor roll? You know, he gets bored because he gets done with his work faster than the rest of the kids. He gets in the car. I'm done with my homework, Dad. I said, how? Oh, I did it when I was up in the hallway. And when she told me the assignment, I did a couple, questions. And I finished the other half. Same thing with my daughters. Just like, they know how to follow rules. They're not outcasts. And so there it's got to be revisited. The teacher and student relationship has to be revisited. And so if we don't revisit that, it's that a lot of gaps can be, what I'm saying. That's why we got a lot of, what I'm saying, cases where these teachers is messing with these kids too. You know, it's just like we revisit that. It's just like you shouldn't be joking around with none of that shit. You shouldn't be taking no compliments from no, halfway. You know, these kids is, halfway grown in the body. You know, you shouldn't be taking no compliments. You should not uh you should not be in an alone setting. They should recognize like, body types. It shouldn't be no discrimination at all. You don't discriminate against the thicker child or the whip, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Dude, you don't discriminate on them. You don't deny them help, or you know what I'm saying, you don't deny them, you know, a way of education or nothing like that. But you recognize. So don't be in the long settings with them. Don't entertain bullshit. Don't fantasize about, you know what I'm saying? Don't don't fantasize it. You see it, yeah, but don't act on it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like that they, a motherfucker that signed up for that shit would say it's easier said than done, but it's really not though. That's his rule, bro. Like, that's rude. That's your place of work. You're dealing with children. Don't fuck them. Don't fucking suck on the children. That's for males and females. And so it's just like we got to revisit the teacher and student relationships, because now, if they not, physically abusing, they psychologically abusing them. They're tearing down their confidence. They're making they making my son to make out he a criminal or something. No, he's going there to learn. That's all he's there for. Now, if he doesn't fall under your structure, maybe you need to restructure. If he's not falling under your structure, maybe you need to restructure your structure, because he doesn't fit in. Okay, okay, John, what would you like? I mean, what would make you happier? Okay, you know what I'm saying? Okay, Sarah, what would you like? What would make you happier? How can we make your experience better here? Because we really want you to learn everything that you're teaching, but it seems like that there's a gap, or there's a problem, or you're not listening or something. What do you like to do at home? You know what I'm saying? What's your favorite cartoon? What's your favorite book? You know, and you have to integrate it within their personality. You have to integrate the curriculum within their personality. And if you don't integrate the curriculum within their personality, they're going to fail. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. The individual comes with a lot. They're from different backgrounds. They're from different settings. They're from different engagements. They had different experiences. You know what I'm saying? And so we can't box this crappy ass curriculum into these special human beings. Everybody's different. You're one out of 400 million. You are special. And so, like, these one out of 400 million motherfuckers, they trying to just, just stamp, just herd stamp us, with this diploma. That's our herd stamp. Is the diploma when we get to graduate. That's our herd stamp. And so, within our freedoms, man, you know, we gotta revisit the teacher and student relationship, and that's it. That's it. They're with you. Our students are with the teachers 40 hours a week, just like how people work. So you have to revisit that curriculum. And so if you don't revisit the curriculum, our curriculums, which are failing, you know, because it's a new age that's coming, you know, you can't you can't send one of these 18-year-olds to a marketing school and they implement an old system. There's a whole different bull and monster of marketing right now. There's a whole there's a whole nother monster that these old professors and these old universities, have they adapted? Have they adapted? Can they adapt? I wouldn't even pay for it because everything is informational right now, and it's about the sale. It's about the sale, and that's the bottom fucking line. You know what I'm saying? The aspects of marketing, yeah, there's details in it. You know, and you will learn that along the way by actually doing it though. You know, by actually just doing it. You know, you'll see where your gaps are. You know, it's just like this. When they go to school, they should be our kids should be coming home talking about life that their teachers, were talking to them about, you know. And so, and getting them prepared, it's just like so many people lost, you know, just based off that, that teacher student relationship, that was supposed to be a safe haven where for students to go, even if, what I'm saying, if they didn't have a, they didn't have, a safe home, or, or if they had a safe home, they just love coming there as a field of creativity, things they couldn't do at home, a bigger field to be creative, you know, a bigger field to show what they can do as individuals, you know what I'm saying? But as we go across this, which is I say graduation. My oldest daughter just graduated. I was just in the crowd just assessing everything, the matrix shit, and I was like, yeah, they're just going across the assembly line, stamped. Everybody got the same hat on, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, and one thing, I love the Millennium speech, the valedictorian. I loved her speech, man, because she didn't talk about this fucking, being successful. She said we have to refocus our idea of success, because happiness is really success. It's just like what these people have fought so hard for, what they fought so hard for, and they got in this position, they're in their position, and they've been in it for 5, 10, 14, 20 years, 25 years, and they look back and they've lost themselves because they chased this so-called dream, the money's there, you know, they missed their life. There's millions of women that, never started families, or eggs froze up because they chased a career. Same thing as men. Dick stopped working, you know, because you partied out, and then you know what I'm saying, you really miss life, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that it ain't nothing wrong with partying, bro. Partying is hella fun, you know what I mean? But one thing I wanted to just recognize, man, is more on a sense of being happy, man, and finding out what you love and what you like to do, and how 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 your life, you know, the best part of yourself, as far as like, health, and how you will want to be, and yeah, happiness is everything, man. Happiness is everything. So uh, that's my view on success. You know, you reach a point of peace. You know what I'm saying? You don't start what you don't. Work is work, man. It's just that word was created. You know what I'm saying? The universe doesn't, what I'm saying, make any exceptions for, working a job. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't. Like, the universe makes an exception on your inner happiness. It makes an exception on your perception, and your willingness to tackle, what's really going on inside of you. That's what this is. The universe recognizes your fight for your inner self, and all in order. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, yeah. So happiness is a choice. Uh, the universe doesn't make an exception for work or a job, but it makes an exception for, your perception and your will life was why you're here. You know what I'm saying? And truly your inner happiness and what you truly like. You know, that's why I like that show. I like that show Lucifer because he works with a detective, and some of his one of his tactics is he stares the person dead in the eye. He locks them in. He's like, "What's your true desire?" And then he can smell their heart and what they truly like, and they're either gonna say it, and then that's how he finds out if they're accomplice to the murder, or they're accomplice to a crime or something like that. And so it's very intriguing, man. It's very deep, man. So it's just like, okay, people would say that's evil to know your darkest desire, but I don't think it is. You know what I'm saying? I think merging the darkness and the light together is the ultimate goal. Merging the darkness, the ultimate goal. Merging the individuality of these kids and y'all punk ass curriculum is the goal. I think we can get somewhere, but at least they can have a true memory and a true, genuine, happy, spirit-filled memory of school, which they already gonna have, but they're gonna remember the social aspect of it. All kids remember is the social aspect of school. You know what I'm saying? Uh, certain book reports that's memorable. It's like school is all about the events. Your memory, your memory in school, your memory in school have a certain connection, and that certain connection is the social aspect of it. It's the social aspect of it. Yeah. So so remembering the social aspect of it is the only thing that you can really hold on to. And so you can, like, I just like, here goes my run. I remember punk ass teachers. I remember the girls. I remember classrooms. I remember, the first girl I got a hard on with, looking at. I remember, basketball. I remember all the games I went to with school. I don't remember nothing. I know, some math formulas, but and I graduated, and so what I try to break down is certain gaps that we can see in this matrix and that we can try to seal up. But you know, it's nothing heroic, or it's nothing to fight for. It's just something to do. You know, it's something to do and to see what's the outcome going to be. And these ideas that we can revisit with the teacher and student relationship. And also, when I say the teacher and student relationship, I'm talking about in all aspects, and all forms and aspects of learning, in this hierarchy of certain groups and certain orders, and this hierarchy of how this world operates. We have to revisit the teacher and student relationship. We got to revisit. We got to revisit our hearts, and the teacher's heart, and we got to revisit the student's heart on why we're here together, and what am I teaching him for? Why am I giving him the science? It's got to genuinely like giving it to him though. It can't be nothing attached to it, because once that spirit comes out, and that false motive in your teaching comes out, that kid sniffs that out, and then it's haywire in between you guys. It's haywire, and it's off, and it's at every school. We got teachers slamming students on the head. We got teachers sleeping with kids. We got teachers, uh damn near killing the kids because he ran off on the plug. You know, it's just like we selling weed to we giving students packs and shit. Like, yeah, this shit probably been going on. Shit probably been going on, but shit, man, shit gotta be revisited, man. It's gotta be revisited and be spoke upon. You know, speaking upon something doesn't necessarily change anything, but speaking upon it, you know, it does change things. You know, words do change things. Mantras change things. You know, especially as within truth and within love. You know, you can get a lot done within truth and within love. You can get a lot of shit done. You know, and that's where we need to start. And like I said, and I'm gonna start. You know, let's revisit this teacher student relationship. We're responsible for, you know, certain, you know, for people. You know, at our jobs, at our, you know, at our businesses. You know what I'm saying? At our, you know, at our businesses, at our in our homes. You know what I'm saying? Like we're husbands, we're fathers, we're mothers. You know, we got to revisit it, man. We probably got our we we probably got our hearts in the wrong place when it comes to the teacher and student relationship. And so so once we revisit that teacher and student relationship, I think we're there. I think we are there. All right, man. I'm signing out, man. Make sure you teaching the right heart chakra, man. And if you are not, and you point it out inside yourself, and you're truly honest with yourself, uh, please stop teaching. I'm talking about with your kids, with, you know, if you're a teacher, if you're a, you know, pastor, whatever, fam. Check your heart chakra. Check your heart chakra. Check your heart chakra, and then revisit it. You you'll find a greater jewel. You'll find a greater jewel. So, signing off, Arson, man. Make sure you subscribe to my page, Arson, ARSON. I'll turn this motherfucker off.